Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And Sam, thank you for kicking that off. The incomparable Ashley Krupa Berg. I mean, I have a lot to live up to now, but I am ready for it. So, thank you all for being here. What I love about free education is that it's free. But the best part is that you showed up, even though you didn't have to be here with me today. So, thank you so very much. My name is Ashley Krupa Berg. I am one of Pravana's global creative artists. I travel all over the world doing truly amazing things for Pravana. I teach at hair shows, I teach intimate classes, I do big events, small events, I go to schools, salons, you name it, I am there. So I'm coming at you from my salon suite over here in Chicago, Illinois. I can see in the chat box there, someone's here from Florida. I haven't seen everybody else's locations yet, but I will definitely go back and check that. As Sam mentioned, this is an interactive class. This is Heatwave Hues. So we are going to learn little tips and tricks. And the interactive part is really important to me because we can all learn from each other. Even though I'm the educator leading this class, that does not mean that you can't all jump in and tell me your tips and tricks for your clients because what we do over here in Chicago is probably a little different than what we do over there in Florida because we don't always have the crazy sunshine over here. We've had nothing but crazy storms, to be honest, and we're over them. So, before I kick off the rest of the class, I do want to do just a little bit of PK because whether you are new to Pravana or you've been using it for a while, PK never hurts to learn and go over a little bit more. So I'm just going to share my screen. I have a very short, very simple PowerPoint presentation just to kick it off because, again, knowledge is power. So this is just a little overview of any and all things Pravana. And let me go ahead here. Let's see if it wants to change. I love that. I feel like those videos where they make fun of people when they're pulling up a thing, you just like randomly say long things and stretch it out. So, as mentioned, there I am again, global creative artist for Pravana. I've been a stylist for 18 years, which is honestly so crazy to believe, but here we are. My favorite techniques or specialties are any and all things color and also any and all things styling. Aside from owning a double salon suite and being an educator for Pravana, I also own a bridal business because I love any and all things bridal. So I am booked up until December to do weddings. I also do hair and makeup there. So I just love all of that. I love all of it coming together. But even in salon, if somebody gets their hair colored and they want a beautiful style to go along with it, I am with you for that. Fun fact about me, I have had purple hair for almost 2 decades. That's almost 20 years of my life. I've had the same hair color, which I joke is truly one of my biggest accomplishments because we as hairstylists, we don't often keep the same hair color. Am I right? So the fact that I can have the same color for this long is pretty impressive. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram, of course, make sure you're following Pravana, tag along for all of our amazing education and when we have launches and all of that incredible goodness that goes along with Pravana. But my Instagram handle is the girl underscore with purple hair. Anytime I do classes, I constantly have stylists reaching out to me afterwards just to ask questions and get to know a little bit more about Pravana. So never hesitate to reach out if you need anything more beyond today's class. I am always available for you. One thing I always make sure to keep involved in all of my classes is the Pravana Promise. So something that's very near and dear to us as a company is we stand behind you as the stylist, but we also stand behind you as the people in your chair. Okay, so we take both sides into account. What works great for you as the stylist behind the chair, but also what works amazing for the clients in your chair. We want to make sure that they are leaving with really amazing hair and that we're giving you the best products to use. So, us at Pravana, our promise is to empower everyday stylists by providing them with superior products, unprecedented and unmatched in value that will enhance your professional and your personal lives. So if you are using something from Pravana, you know that it is top tier, the absolute best of the best, and something that we thought of because we wanted to have it, not because everybody else has it. So that's one of my favorite things to talk about in Pravana classes. And if you didn't know, now you know. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Another favorite thing to show is, hey, if you've used one thing from Pravana, did you know that we have all of these other things to offer as well? So we of course have our hair color collection. We offer semi, demi, and permanent color. We have 3 different blonding options. And then we of course have our care and our styling to go along with it. And our care line is big in our class today, right? What we use in our back bar the day that our stylist, or excuse me, the day that our clients are in our chair, very important. But what are they leaving with? We need to know that as well. So we're going to talk more about care and all of that goodness that goes along with what are they using at home. Now, this right here, if again you're newer or you've been using Pravana for a while, feel free to take a screenshot of this. I love this page. This breaks down to you all the types of hair color that we offer, and it shows you the differentiation in the boxes. So the very first box that you see right over here, this is our ChromaSilk cream hair color that we use only for permanent options. So this is only ever mixed with 10, 20, 30, or 40 volume developer. And all of the ChromaSilk cream hair color shades are intermixable with each other as long as you are mixing them in a 1 to 1.5 ratio. The other permanent option that we offer is the second box right here called ChromaSilk Vivids Everlasting. So these are permanent vivids that you have to mix with developer, again, only with 10, 20, 30, or 40 volume developer in a 1 to 1.5 ratio that gives you vivid-like effects in permanent form. Those are my absolute babies. I love them. I utilize them as much as possible. Then, of course, we have toning and demi-permanent options. So we have our express tones and we have our HydraGloss and we have platinum toners. So whether you are toning the darkest blonde or the most platinum lightest blonde, we have options for you. But toning doesn't always stop when it's blondes. It also goes all the way down even to like a level 1 or a 3. Sometimes we need to color glaze, refresh, color balance. We're talking about all of that today. These are your go-tos for that for sure. And of course, our OG Vivids, that is our semi-permanent option. That is what Pravana is typically most known for. We offer tons of different shades of that as well. So along the way today, ask questions about all these color types because I want to make sure that you know how to use them behind the chair. Now, this is also another beautiful breakdown. Feel free to screenshot this as well. This reminds you what developer you are mixing with each color, if it requires developer, and then of course the processing time for each of those because processing time is very important and you want to make sure that you are giving it the full amount of processing time that it needs in order to give you the very best color. All right. Take a screenshot of this one as well. The reason I say that is because I can't send any of this to you, but you're here with me today again, so take a screenshot. This is a beautiful breakdown of what each of our color family directions are, what the number and the letter means in the center column, and then in the very last column, it tells you the base or the tonal direction. So what's important about that is we as stylists, we are chemists at heart, right? We love to have fun. We love to make hair look really good. But at the end of the day, we cannot work without knowing the basics of color and our color wheel. So we take primary tones, secondary tones, tertiary tones, and we have to know how to enhance a tone in the hair or neutralize it, balance it, cool it off, warm it up, you name it. So this right here is like a very beautiful insight to all the colors that we have within Pravana. So this way you know what you're lifting with if you're lifting with color or what you are depositing into the hair when you're working with that as well. Love, 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 love all of it. I know this whole entire chart in my sleep. It's amazing. Okay, so let me go back to that one. I kept this one in here because what we're going to talk about very shortly here in our Heatwave Hues class is how to maintain color at home, but especially through the summer, through the hot months, through if they're going on vacation, what are they doing? You know, are they flat iron warriors? Are they curling iron warriors? Do they love to wear their hair pulled up a lot? You know, how are they styling their hair? What are they doing to it? So within Pravana, you will always talk about 5 essential steps to successful hair coloring. And again, what they get here in the salon is important, but when they leave, we can't be with them every day. So we have to set both ourselves and them up for success. So when you're coloring their hair, you want to know, where am I starting? So where's their natural hair color? Where am I going? Am I lifting levels or depositing? So you have to determine, am I lifting? Am I depositing? How many? Are we going warm? Are we going cool? I will say the warm tones have been around for a while now, and I'm like, please stay here with me. We love a good warm tone. You know, just if you want to be warm doesn't automatically mean you're going to be carrot top, okay? I just have to say it. The next question, you have to ask yourself, how far do I have to go to get there? So how many levels are you lifting or depositing? Are there any obstacles in my way? So this is crucial. Do they have gray hair? I don't necessarily consider that an obstacle because with Pravana, you can get up to 100% gray coverage. So in my humble opinion, I don't think gray coverage is an obstacle. My bigger obstacle is a porosity issue. Again, if I'm toning your hair, if I'm doing an all over color, how long is that color going to want to stay in your hair if you have porosity issues? But don't worry, we have everybody's best friend. It's called intense therapy leave-in treatment. We're going to talk a lot about that very, very soon. We're almost through these slides. Also, you have to check out, do they have unwanted tone or missing tone in their hair? That goes back to the demi-permanent options. So they have missing tone, we need to put it back in the hair. If they have unwanted tone, we need to neutralize that and get them back to the hair color that they want. Now, how do I address those obstacles? What are the contributing factors? Porosity, texture, so on and so forth. So we can do deep conditioning treatments if they have porosity issues. We could use our intense therapy spray to even out that porosity for a quicker fix. When it comes to textured hair, sometimes that's definitely more porous than other hair types. But guess what? With Pravana, we cater to all hair types and textures. So whether they have the straightest hair to the curliest, most beautiful locks, we have them covered every single time. One of my favorite things about Pravana. Now, again, the breakdown of demi-permanent color. 3 different options, endless possibilities. This we are going to talk a little bit more about in a little bit because I have visual aids for all of you. So we'll come back to this. And then the platinum toners. So these are geared towards levels 9 and 10 only. So if you are doing platinum blondes and you need to stay nice and light, we have these options available for you that you can customize your toning formula and get absolutely beautiful results and still stay really, really blonde. But then for anybody who is not a super light blonde, we have something called HydraGloss, which is the best thing we've ever created. And we go from a level 1 all the way up to a level 10 with lots of different tonalities in there. So you can customize the color for your client and again, give them beautiful hair. Now, I am almost done here because we have some really cool visuals that I want to show all of you. Our Vivids, of course, number 1, our ride or dies. We've had them around forever. They are amazing. And there's lots of different ways that you can utilize Pravana Vivids, but there's also a few ways that you can dilute the Vivids in order to either get a more pastel version or a brighter, lighter version that's really crisp. I like to describe the color as crisp. So if you take just regular color, and I take 20 grams of what we call clear dilute, okay? So I have a lot of color in my bowl, or just a lot of clear. I take 1 gram of magenta, add it in with this clear dilute, boom. It's brighter and crisper, but still diluted from its original potency. So that one works wonders. And I absolutely love my clear dilute. Now, when I need to work with something like Vivid's Clear Pastel, this will give it a more milky kind of pastel version of what you're trying to do. So if you're getting a lighter, brighter, more crisp color, you need to reach for clear dilute. If you need to get that more milky pastel, very, very light tone, you want to reach for your clear pastel every time. Okay, now I'm just going to pause just for a moment, give any of you a chance to ask a question. That's all I have for you in terms of the actual PowerPoint presentation, and now we can dive a little bit deeper into all the other things. So let me go here. Let me go to my chat box. Okay. Let me know. I see I have someone from Texas, so that's awesome. So I have someone from Texas and someone from Florida. So you know all about the heat, okay? But anyone else on here, please, any questions you have about anything when it comes to maintaining the color and all of that fun stuff, please ask away. Other than that, for now, I can definitely see the chat box a little bit easier. So hopefully everyone can see me nice and big. I have some really fun visuals that I made for all of you because we are visual people, okay? So we have to have some form of a visual to look at. And what I love is typically when I am demoing or I'm teaching a technique on the computer, you won't always get a full idea of exactly what it looks like, right? Like right now, I'm currently working in my salon, which has fluorescent lighting. So when you look at swatches like this, does this column, let me know in the chat box, Does this column look almost identical to this column? Check it out. I don't have additional lighting in here at the moment because when I tried it out earlier, I felt like it just kind of blew out these swatches that I had a little bit too much, and I was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. But let me know, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. Let me know, does it look the same? Oh, hold on, we have a question. I get questions about toning with permanent with zero lift compared to toning with HydraGloss and zero lift and which one will last longer. I love that you brought that up, Brenda. Thank you so much. We are going to talk more about that, but what I will tell you is in order to get a true demi-permanent color, it means that you have to have absolutely no ammonia involved in that color tube at all. So a true demi-permanent would not be if you mix Zero Lift Developer with our ChromaSilk cream hair color because our permanent hair color does contain ammonia. If you want to get a true demi-permanent, then you would stick with your HydraGloss, your Express tones, or your Platinum toners mixed with Zero Lift Developer. Now, full transparency to back in the day, there was once upon a time when we advocated to mix the Zero Lift with the ChromaSilk cream hair color. We're not saying that's wrong. You will still get color deposit, but what you also run the risk of getting is slight shifting at the base because Zero Lift still has hydrogen peroxide in it. So hydrogen peroxide mixed with ammonia causes that chemical reaction and can cause you to get a little bit of lift at the root or lift somewhere else along the hair. So if you want that true demi-permanent without running the risk of anything, your better options are HydraGloss, Express tones, or Platinum toners. And now HydraGloss is mixed 1 part color to 1 part Zero Lift Developer, whereas Platinum toners or Express tones are mixed 1 part color to 1.5 part Zero Lift Developer. But that's a great question. We get it honestly in all of our classes. And I love it because I'm an honest stylist. I'm very transparent. It's not just because I work for Pravana that I tell you those things. It's just the fact. So demi-permanent like effects will come from mixing Zero Lift with ChromaSilk cream hair color, but you definitely have many other options that are better. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's what seasoned stylists ask. They've been using Pravana for years. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And share that knowledge loud and proud across the world because I get it, I think, in every class. And I never want someone to feel bad that they're asking me that question. It's just the truth. Like that is, at the end of the day, exactly why we don't recommend doing that anymore. So thank you for asking, Brenda. I appreciate the question. Now, back to what I was saying. I hope that when you are all looking at this, that you feel like, Ashley, why do you have two totally different categories when they look the same? So what we're talking about today, Heatwave hues. So I have someone who comes in, right? Well, I have a lot of people who come in who are going on vacation. They sit in here, they tell me, we're going to the Caribbean, we're going to Hawaii, we're going somewhere nice and tropical. What do you think they're going to want to do on their vacation? Swim, stay in the sun, maybe go in the ocean if that's where they're going. Maybe they rented an Airbnb that has a nice, beautiful pool and they just want to dunk their head under to really cool off. Well, every hairstylist doesn't want to hear that. I actually, no joke, even my kids are trained, okay? I have 2 little boys. They know if mom's in the pool, do not splash her with chlorine because that pool will turn purple, okay? My hair is down to like my waist. It's very, very long. Today, in Heatwave hues, I decided to be inspired to do like a tight top knot because I don't want to be hot when I'm teaching. Okay. I want my hair to be up and off my face because if I'm sweating purple. But if I go in the pool, even my kids know, like, don't splash mom with the water because we don't need that dripping purple down my face. But if they go on vacation, I also want them to go with peace of mind knowing if I give you hair color, yes, of course, there's a chance it will fade. That's just basic natural life. That's chemistry, that's science. If you have your hair in the sun, it's going to fade. If you dip your hair in chlorinated water or ocean water, it's probably going to fade. But I will do my absolute best, I promise you, to maintain that color for you. So what am I going to do by that? Let me tell you. All right. So for these colors, let me come a little closer here. I did this very first swatch. I colored it with a level 4.45. So that's just a level 4 copper mahogany. So there's 70% copper, 30% mahogany in there. Someone with this color, if they're coming in constantly and getting the same color, I don't want to always revamp their entire head with permanent color every time. So what I did as a glaze, because I know that it can sit on a little bit longer. So that's going to be the biggest takeaway from today's class. I meet a lot of stylists from all over the world. A lot of times I hear from stylists, I don't have time to tone for that long. I don't do well with hearing that someone doesn't have the time to do that in the salon because we are the ones who do our books, okay? So you have to make the time to tone your clients longer than what you use to tone them. Don't be afraid to tone. Don't be afraid to let your toner sit on longer. I am promising you, all of my clients sit for almost 20 minutes with the toner on. The reason is because when in doubt, swatch it out. Or maybe you need to level up. But I will stand by that phrase forever. When in doubt, swatch it out. Because a swatch is very forgiving. So if I have someone coming in with a level 4 copper mahogany, they're going to go on vacation. I know that they want to wash their hair a lot. I could pull through with permanent color. That's one option. Just pull through with 10 volume and let it sit on there for at least 30 minutes because that's how long 10 volume needs. And this will ensure that they're covered base all the way to ends with that permanent color. But what if I don't want to pull through with permanent color? What if I would rather pull through with a demi-permanent option to add more shine and increase just the softness and the silkiness to the hair? Now, you will get that absolutely from ChromaSilk Cream Hair Color because that has silk amino acids and keratin proteins in it. But our HydraGloss is all about drenching the hair in shine and color. So I went in and used my sciencey chemistry brain and I mixed one of our newest launches for RV, which is red violet, and then I mixed it with 7CR, which is a copper red. So our mahogany has a red violet base, which is why I chose 4RV. And then our copper has the obviously copper base to it, which is a little more orange base. And then I have the R in there just to keep that red undertone in there. I did an overlay on that same swatch. Okay, so this swatch was colored with 4.45. And then this one over here, I just glazed right over it. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. I glazed right over it with the 4RV and the 7CR, and it looks identical. I wanted that to happen. I wanted these to look the exact same way just to prove that I can overlay this with a toner for 20 minutes. It's not darker. It's not a different tone. It's just enhancing the undertone that's already in there. And I know my client now has more washes out of their hair. Okay, let's go on. 5.62, for instance. This is a level 5 red beige or red kind of blue violet undertone. So I went in and I combined our 5R and our 6RV from HydraGloss and did an overlay on that. This one enhanced my reddish undertone, I would say ever so slightly. But even if 5.62 is a level 5, it's a slightly brighter reddish beige tone. So that's okay if you are enhancing the tones that they want to see in their hair. But all of my swatches stayed with that toner on for 20 minutes. Now, if you get nervous when you're toning, remember you can always level up with your toner. Buy yourself a little extra time. If their hair is more porous, step one is 100% leveling up that toner because it is so much easier to tone you a second time and maybe tone you a little darker versus that color grabbing really quickly, and now I'm at the shampoo bowl panicking and I'm shampooing you as hard as I can and you're asking me how great the color is and I'm like, it's amazing as I'm sweating bullets, probably sweating off an eyebrow. We don't need you to do that. With Pravana, you can always level up. You can always change your toner. You can do so many things, and I don't want any of you to be afraid to do it ever. You'll remember my phrase, when in doubt, swatch it out. Tons of swatching, tons of swatches all over my salon. Well, actually, they're very organized in a cabinet. But either way, when I'm here, I could have a client sitting in my chair who tells me they want to try something. I'm going to swatch it while they're processing because you want to know, now I got to know. Okay, moving on to 6.45. Okay, so 6.45 is a level 6 copper mahogany. So this was a 4.45. Now I just moved to a 6.45. And when I revived and refreshed this color, I went in with 7CR and 6RV. So again, just leveling up a little bit because this is a 6. So up here I used 4RV and 7CR. Now I'm using 6RV and 7CR. Absolutely beautiful. This one is probably the only one I will say when a touch darker, but that's okay. We are setting them up to have more room for it to fade. So I don't want a client to come in and go lighter because they think their color is going to fade. If you like to have darker tones, let's give them their darker tones for vacation, for the rest of the summer. Another thing about this class that I know I wanted to touch on is we're living in a time right now where it's beautiful that our clients incorporate us into their budget. Like, really, at the end of the day, when you think about it, have you ever sat there and realized families need groceries, they need gas in their car, they have to pay their insurance, they have to shop, they have to travel for work, they have to go to the doctor? Like, these are things that are necessities that they need to do. But in their budget, they take time to say, I have an appointment with Ashley, and they work us into their budget. So nowadays, if someone says, I really want to come in, but just don't have it in the budget at this time, offer them a couple things. Offer them maybe a more budget friendly solution. So this way, they're still coming into your chair. You're not losing out on money. They still get to get their hair done and feel really good. Or offer them a later appointment where they can have a little more time to save up money. The last thing I ever want my clients to feel is stressed out when they're in my chair. When you walk through that door, maybe you can't leave all your cares and your worries behind, but I have an amazing snack bar area, tons of drinks to offer. You would not believe how many people get excited that I have fruit by the foot in my salon. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. They're so excited to have a Pringle, a whole little stack of Pringles, and a fruit by the foot. That makes them happy. So if that makes you happy to come in here, you can do that. I know, Brenda's laughing. It's so true. Like, fruit by the foot, number one seller. Not even seller because I don't charge for my snacks, but it's just something when a client, if they ever have to reschedule or come in at a different time, no hard feelings, okay? Come to me when it's good for you, because the last thing I want you to do is sit here the whole time and wonder, how am I going to pay for this? Is it going to set me back? Little things like that. So these are other ways to help your clients keep their beautiful hair color for longer and also kind of stretch their budget a little bit. Okay, let's go on because I have another visual board that's just so beautiful and we got to talk about that. Brenda says snacks never fail. She is correct. Absolutely. So this is a perfect example, 7.44. Okay, let me come a little bit closer. 7.44 is a level 7 super intense copper tone. It has 200% of copper because it's a double number. So what I did to get close to that was I took our 7CR and I mixed it with clear in HydraGloss. Anytime you're mixing clear with a HydraGloss shade, it actually makes it brighter. It does not dilute the tone. If I needed to take 7.44 and dilute it a little bit where it was less vibrant, I would actually want to reach for one of the NT series. So an 8NT, a 7NT, to add that in with my color to tone it down ever so slightly so it's not so bright. That's one option, okay? I wanted to make sure that I kept that intensity and just made it a little bit brighter because I'm putting a 7 on a 7. So if I let that process, okay, if it's processing, if it sits for too long, I don't want it to go too dark. So what I'm going to do for that is add clear. So I did 50% color and 50% clear, left it on 20 minutes, and like I said, it came out a little darker, but the tonality, the family is still there. So this is letting our clients know, hey, today, when I tone you, you're going to look a little bit darker today, but I'm giving you a guarantee, peace of mind to know that it will wash out, it will fade back to your lighter shade eventually. This is just giving you a little more time in between appointments, or if you want to have, a pool party in the summer, let them go and enjoy it and still have beautiful hair throughout. The only thing we can't ever guarantee, is that they're not going to get outgrowth eventually because hair grows out of the head and that's just what happens. Okay, We're down to our last two for here. So I have 8.3, which is a level 8 gold. Now, if you'll notice, I reached for shades that tend to fade the fastest. I did that intentionally, very much so on purpose. Someone with a 6N, I'm sorry, you're just not going to fade out as much as someone with a copper or a red or a mahogany or something like that. So I'm giving you just some formulas and ideas for shades that tend to fade a little quicker than others, but you know, it's all universal nonetheless. If someone with a 6N wanted to get their hair glazed and refreshed with HydraGloss, we absolutely have an option for them as well. So 8.3 is a level 8 gold. Beautiful. We love it. I wanted to refresh it, but deepen it ever so slightly. So I mixed equal parts of 7G and 9G from HydraGloss, left it on the full 20 minutes, and it looks almost identical, maybe slightly darker. Now, the fun thing with HydraGloss is that it can process up to 20 minutes on completely dry or damp hair. Now, remember, porous hair, as we were talking about earlier, does soak up that color a little bit more. So it'll take it a little deeper and it grabs onto it a lot faster. So if you are looking to do something like that, where I have to refresh the color and I really want it to hold, put it on dry hair. Don't forget to take your intense therapy, shake it up, spray the hair down a little bit, and then do your all over color. This little bad boy right here is your bestie. I have one to my right, one to my left at all times whenever I'm working in the salon. So you can spray the hair down with that. That's a porosity equalizer. Put your toner all over, let that process 20 minutes, wash it out, do your thing. If you want to dampen the hair down where you maybe wash it beforehand and put the toner on for the full 20 minutes, that's also totally fine as well. Just a few options, okay? Now, the very last one that I went in with was a very ashy level 10. So this is a 10.1, which means it's a level 10, 100% ash tone. And we all know we have a lot of people out there embracing their gray, right? They're wanting to go au natural. We got you at PRAVANA. We got you. I'm telling you, we have it in permanent form, demi-permanent form with HydraGloss. We have it with the toners, any form of toner. We have got you covered. So for this one specifically, I took equal parts of 10B and 10X and did an overlay on that tone. So again, you see, it's a little bit darker, but still in the same family. It's still like the same tone. Thank you, Christine. Christine gave me a heart. She approves. So this is just one variable. I hope this was a great visual. Let me know. Let me know if anyone needs to see anything else or hear any more of an explanation for this one, because we still have plenty of time to have some fun. Now, look at this bad boy. Look at her in all her glory. They all move as one unit. I love it so much. I was actually just walking into my salon a little bit ago, and one of my very best friends works next door at the nail salon, and she ran out the door and she was like, I love that board. I love her too. Maybe she'll stay as like a staple in my salon. I do have right up there a diamond painting that my mom made for me because she's the sweetest. It's of a girl with purple hair. That is a permanent fixture in the salon. But I feel like this is just so stinking cute. So this one I made for another reason, okay? Let me come on this side. Visual aids, again, are never going to let us down. They are our number one friend. We as visual people have to be able to see things at all times, right? You want to see what you're working with. What is the color going to look like? How is it going to come out? So I did an example on these swatches and on these swatches of our express tones. So these are front-loaded, fast-acting, very quick processing toners. These are the express tones. So out of the tube, they come out a level 7. As you add in more clear, you actually are, again, leveling up that toner and making it lighter. So I had a chart up there before, which I can pull up again at the end of this class, but 1 part of clear to 3 parts of color gives you a level 8. If you needed to make a 9, you'll take 2 parts color, 2 parts clear. And then if you needed to make a level 10, you'll do 1 part color and 3 parts clear. and added into it. But what I did for these to show you the progression of toners processing longer, the violet is just a very beautiful visual. I will use this forever. This swatch only processed for 5 minutes, 10, 15, and 20. So you can see, I'm going to hold it up really close. You can see that progression of the toners just, oh, here we go. So funny. I've done classes forever on the computer and I will never understand which way I'm talking. I crack myself up every time. So 5 minutes versus 20, it's significantly darker on there. I know you can all see that. So then I went in and I did it with beige. Same thing, 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, the reason I'm showing the progression of leaving it on is because, again, we know color as it oxidizes, as it processes, especially when it's front-loaded color, it will get darker over time. That's exactly what it's meant to do. It's a progressive color. One thing to note about express tones versus HydraGloss is express tones, you have to create the level that you're toning with. HydraGloss, one of the biggest misconceptions about it is that stylists will say it went too dark. The thing with HydraGloss is that it didn't go too dark. It is calibrated to tone to a certain level. So sometimes a stylist puts on a color thinking it's going to come out one way, but it's calibrated to drop down to whatever number is on the front of that box. So here we go again. When in doubt, swatch it out or level up your toner because HydraGloss is not meant to go darker as it processes, but it is calibrated to drop to whatever level is on the front of that box. So just keep that in mind when you're working with HydraGloss. Don't be afraid of it. It is one of the best things we've ever come out with Pravana's entire color line. And I've been here for 17 years. So I think I have a leg to stand on to say we have come up with some amazing things over the years, but HydraGloss will always have my heart. So try that out. It's amazing. That's with express tones, okay? So these are, again, front-loaded, fast-acting. They can technically process in 5 minutes, but sometimes, again, our clients are going to need that toner to stay on a little bit longer. So if I wanted to leave it on the full 20 minutes, but level up, all I have to do is add in a little bit of clear, and it goes a long way. Now, these toners on the bottom, these are just extra swatches that I made just for fun. These down here, this is a mixture of 5R and 8BV. So BV is a beige, more like a blue-violet undertone. And then the 5R is obviously a 5 red. But the mixture of the red and the blue-violet, gave it a very subtle brown, but like violet undertone that I did on it. It's almost a little like dusty, kind of smoky. I love it. Sometimes I just take a couple random things and put them in a bowl and see what I get. And sometimes you get beautiful colors like this. I also did 7C and 7CR. 7C is just a regular level 7, like a caramel tone. CR is copper red. It's very, very intense. It's meant to come out bright orange, but I diluted the two together to show that you can play around and have fun with this. 6RV in clear, I just wanted to show you 6RV on its own is so stunning, but I wanted it to be a little bit brighter than where it was because if someone's constantly getting that 6RV on their ends every time, after a while, it might start to grab too dark if it's not faded out enough. So there's two different types of refreshes, right? We have a color refresh when the hair is faded, and then we have a color refresh when the client maybe just wants to add a little more shine. I would not treat those two services the same way. So keep in mind, if they need a color glazing, color balancing, color refresh, I'm going to pull through with the full potency of the color. If they're like, I don't actually feel like it's that faded, but if you want to refresh it, you can. The two options would be to take their normal color and add clear, or to just do a clear coat. Clear mixed with zero lift can be so beautiful. It's also an excellent add-on service when it comes to utilizing clear and maybe a blowout. Okay, hey, did you want a little more shine in your hair today? You can incorporate that into there. So that's just another fun way to do it. And then this last one, I just did 6 RV and 7 ABV. So I just mixed a couple things together to put right on top of that. And again, I'm just making some fun colors for all of you. So now what I wanted to do was jump into some other fun stuff when it comes to color. And then we are going to talk about the maintenance at home. So a big, big, big question I'm asking all of my clients who sit in my chair is, how are you styling your hair? I have a lot of curly haired clients. They don't even want you to talk about a blow dryer when they're in here. And I love that. Okay. We are all about embracing that curl when you're in here. I have several different types of products. I have a diffuser. You are a curly haired girl. You will leave hair curly unless you request something otherwise. But I love when they want to embrace their natural curl. When it comes to Vivids, we're going to flat iron one of these together just to see. So the typical suggested amount of heat. Remember, we're not baking cookies, we're not baking cinnamon rolls, although they sound good. We don't have time to eat it anyway because we're too booked and busy behind the chair. But when we are flat ironing or curling or doing something with heat, I will be totally transparent. This is probably not the best flat iron to do it with because it doesn't have a heat setting on it. But I, as the professional, can curl or flat iron your hair very efficiently. I was having a conversation with one of my very good friends this morning. Her name's Lauren. She's a fellow educator as well with Pravana. And we were talking about my class today, and she was so excited. We're talking about all the tips and tricks I wanted to share. She is a big advocate for comparing types of flat irons and the plates that you're actually using. So titanium plates versus, all the other different types that are out there. She is convinced that they will give different outcomes for this as well. So what I wanted to do was hold this up if I can, and we're just going to flat iron. Now I just made a couple random concoctions here. This right up here is Crush. This is one of our newest launches that we launched. Absolutely beautiful. Crush, I actually have this color, this light pink color, in with my violet. So I do 2 parts violet with 1 part of Crush, and it just balances it ever so beautifully. So this way, as it fades warmer to neutral and doesn't fade too blue. I don't like warm tones on my face, but I don't necessarily love cool tones either. I just love a nice balanced neutral tone. So because this is a very warm pink, geared for level 8, and I pre-lighten mine to a 9, it works beautifully on my hair. So 2 parts violet, 1 part Crush is the Girl with Purple Hair's formula. Before that, I used to use actually magenta with my formula, but now I'm loving the softness that the Crush adds to it. So Crush, magenta, this is a combination right here, excuse me, of orange and sunstone. So sorry. This is red and sangria. Absolutely beautiful. This is straight silver, and this is violet. So this is a really good visual. If you are in the salon and maybe someone is like, well, does my hair fade when I flat iron it? Let's flat iron this together. Now I'm going to be obnoxious when I flat iron it, right? I'm going to hold it on there a little bit longer, but I want to see if there's a change in the color. Oh my gosh, I already see it. Oh, I'm sad. I don't know if you can see. You can see the two-tone. I know you can. That flat iron started right here, and this tone is already so different from the top tone. Let's do the magenta together. So the reason I'm doing this is because if you have any hard-headed clients, right? If you just have someone who's like, no, I don't flat iron it too much. I don't do that. I don't overuse it. 2 different colors right there. Actually, one of my biggest misconceptions for my clients, just to give a little story, is a lot of times if a client of mine wants to have vivid hair, I talk to them about maintenance, keeping up with it, getting it into the hair, diminishing it out of the hair. We have a very thorough consultation. One of the things is, well, your hair always looks great, so it can't be that hard. No, my hair looks great because I maintain it. You will never see the girl with purple hair's natural color. It doesn't exist. Violet with Crush is my natural color. So I'm honored and flattered when someone compares, like, yours looks good. Well, why wouldn't mine look good? That's because I maintain it to look good. I also can do that at home by myself or do it in the salon. So I have a little leg up on the situation to maintain the color, but remember to educate them on how and why you should make your hair look so good. So that I'm sure you can see the different colors in there, but just letting them know 320 to maybe 350 with the flat iron, and you can do smoother and more passes if you have a lower heat on your flat iron. That is going to be one of the biggest saving things for heat wave hues, okay? Lower temperature on the flat iron will allow you a few more passes and tell them once the front is done, leave it alone because everyone sees the front, so they keep going over it. They just keep doing this and then they start. So have a good heat protectant on the hair, have your intense therapy like I mentioned, all of the above. Okay. If we are not, or not, no, I didn't want to say that. If we are good on that, I'm going to pull the PowerPoint back up because we want to talk about a couple other things about what to send them home with to make sure that their hair is staying very beautiful. Let me share this. Okay, I don't want this. So from current slide. And then, of course, we want to know, what are you going home with? When you leave my salon today, what are you taking home with you? What are you using to maintain your hair? Well, care and styling is very near and dear to us over at Pravana. And one of the greatest inventions is this line right here. So this is a snapshot of our new care collection. And just to give you a breakdown, I'm going to start with the star of the show. Okay? That is my intense therapy. And I have a whole little thing right here. We're gonna officially go to class. And this is just the cutest little thing that I came up with yesterday, okay? So I know I'm a small little snippet on your screen, but this is the interactive part. So I would love to hear from all of you, okay? I have my little RX pads, okay? So I went ahead and wrote out an RX pad, and we are going to talk about who we are sending these home with, okay? So let's say I have someone who comes in who's a blonde. We are a blonde baddie. So I mentioned we have our intense therapy, okay? This is the star of the show. We sell one of these every 64 seconds. 64 seconds, every 64 seconds, one of these is sold. So this is our intense therapy leave-in treatment. You want to make sure that you shake this up. It should be a cloudy blue color throughout, like so. You can keep shaking it if you need to. This should go home with every single one of your clients. This should also be in your bathroom at home or wherever you keep all of your, tools and all that goodness, because I know we as stylists, we have so many things out there. But I'm talking about if you want instant detangling, you want a porosity equalizer, you want a cutting agent, you want to lock in that color, you want to add shine. This is like a sunscreen, but for your hair. So we have UVA and UVB inhibitors built into our intense therapy. So the UVA rays that come down from the sun will age us, they'll age our skin, it'll age our hair. And the UVB rays that come down from the sun will cause our hair or our skin to burn. Now, if we're out on a hot day and we're wondering, like, what should I wear? Oh, wait, let me put my suntan lotion on my skin. Let me make sure I get my face because the skin is so delicate. How many times are we as the client, we as the person with this beautiful hair color, how often are we stopping to say, maybe I should put something on my hair? It's not too often, but the intense therapy is your number one, should be with all of your clients. It's absolutely amazing. You can see right there, buildable. Why did I say that? Buildable biphase hydrating mist formulated with Brazil nut fatty acids and hydrolyzed amino acids. And the fragrance of it is vanilla orchid and nectarine. So you better believe, let me set this down here. This is going to be one of the very first little care package items that I put in my backpack to send my clients home with. Another fun little thing, wear a hat, wear a visor, wear something to protect your hair color. So I'm going to tuck this in here as well. we're going to build a little care package here right together on camera. So everyone has their intense therapy, right? Well, guess what? If they are blondes, I have the purple version for them as well. Same thing, you want to shake it up, make sure that this one is a cloudy purple throughout, like so. And what I love about this is geared towards blondes. So if we have somebody who's a blondie, who needs to stay blonde, kick all that brass out of the hair, I'm going to take anyone who's a level 7 and above. So let's write this out. Level 7 and up. You want to make sure that you're sending them home to protect their blonde with the perfect blonde regimen. Now, they don't need every single piece from here. My personal recommendation is the mask that we have right here, this perfect blonde mask. This is amazing for my levels 7 and 8. It is a very intense mask. It comes out literally the same color as my hair from the tube. So if it's too blonde or too porous, it might soak up a little bit too much of that violet tone. So we don't want to give that to our super platinum blondes because the shampoo and conditioner works wonders for all levels, but especially my lighter blondes. And then the Intense Therapy Perfect Blonde Spray, that's amazing for all levels. It works the same exact way as our Intense Therapy in the blue. It's just the purple version, and it's geared towards my blondes. Okay? If you don't have that yet, run out and get it today because it's the best. It's goated. I like to say that. Oh, let me go back to that page. Sorry. Okay. So I gave my level 7 or up blonde. She is getting the perfect blonde regimen. Okay? So I have her little RX here. We're going to say wash maybe once every week. Now, we all know the fun thing about purple shampoo, right? If our clients are overusing it, they're texting you, they're calling you, they're coming in saying, why is my hair so dark? It doesn't have to be that way. So educating them on less is more when it comes to purple shampoo. So here's the little RX prescription. I'm going to put that right inside their bag and send them home with it. Now, as far as all of the other shampoos and conditioners that you see on here, if I have someone coming in who is a level 1, they could be a level 5, they could have curly hair, they could have straight hair, it could be fine, it could be thick, it could be blonde, it could be vivid. All of the rest of these shampoos and conditioners that you see here, these are all formulated for color treated hair. So this is my personal favorite. This is Repair Radiance. This is what I use, not daily because I don't wash my hair that often, but I wash it once a week. First, I do a clear cleanse on it, which will demineralize any product buildup, anything that's in my hair, any impurities. It'll get it out of my hair. I follow it up with my Repair Radiance shampoo conditioner. It adds vitamin E to the hair, so it's very repairing, as it says, but it won't over repair, it won't over proteinize your hair in any way. So let's say I'm a fresh Vivid, okay? Came in, I got my fresh Vivids. So your at-home prescription is going to be wash. We're going to have them wash with cool water, step 1, okay? And you're going to use clear cleanse once a week. And we're going to use Repair Radiance whenever we shampoo and condition. And then when I get out of the shower, we need to make sure we already gave them the Intense Therapy, okay? So I'm going to put my Intense Therapy right on in there, snug as a bug. I gave a hat to protect from the sun. Now I take my Repair Radiance shampoo, Repair Radiance conditioner, seal it up, send them on their way, and they have the best to protect their hair, to have all the things that they need. Could even put a little snack in there, put a little bottle of water, whatever you want. It's really crucial and important, and it actually makes your job really easy. Oh, I can't forget to put their little RX prescription in there. These are just little things I made just to be cutesy for the class, but it's actually not a terrible idea to give them because, again, they don't come home with us, right? And my clients know I'm very fortunate, very honored. I travel a lot for Pravana. So my clients will always text me, hey, not sure if you're in the same state as me right now, but I had a quick question. So something like that to actually take home that they can read, a physical copy that's more than just a text message, a little bit goes a long way with that. So aside from that, that's Repair Radiance. We have the Moisture Marvel, which this one can always, like, it could be used every single day if they want to as well. This one will moisturize and soften. It has hyaluronic acid in it. So once the hair is wet, the hyaluronic acid is able to really penetrate the hair and give it that moisture and softness that we need. And Volume Vibrance is last but at the very much not least, adds lightweight volume and body. And this one is formulated with vitamin B6. So it is amazing to add that extra little hug that we need when we're giving volume to the hair, because the last thing we ever want is to give the hair volume, but also cause frizziness. So we want to volumize it from the inside out, lift up those cuticles a little bit, and just give them nice, beautiful, voluminous, bouncy hair. So with that said, let me X out of here because I can't see the chat box anymore, and that is very important that I do that. So let me do this. Give me just a moment to come right back to you. Here we go. Okay, so we are truly at the very end of our time together, but I did have a really good time. I just want to stop and see, does anyone have a question? Does anyone need a formula that they want to try? It says I have something new here in the chat. Okay, does Clear Cleanse strip vivids out of the hair? Christine asked. Guess what, Christine? It does not strip vivids out of the hair. I am a true testament to it because, again, I don't wash my hair very often. That is just, a factual thing. My mom, she'll probably never be okay with the fact that I don't wash my hair very often, but one, I don't have the patience to do so, but it is strictly a demineralizing shampoo. So all it's trying to pull out is impurities. Let's say you love going to the gym. You sweat a lot. You need to really cleanse your scalp. Clear Cleanse is perfect for that. Maybe you were out over the weekend for the holiday. Lots of firework dust floating around, lots of pollutants in the air. Maybe you styled your hair really cute for it. Those are the kind of impurities we are working to pull out of the hair, but Clear Cleanse will leave the color in the hair. So I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if there is anything else that anybody needs. I packed up my cute little bag here. I am truly ready. Again, Perfect Blonde. This one is amazing. The blue spray, one every 64 seconds, which is crazy. But today we talked all things color, maintaining that color. We are going to be okay with, even if it makes us uncomfortable at first, we are getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Tone those clients a little bit darker, give them more shine, a little more longevity to the hair. When in doubt, swatch it out. That might have to be one of my next tattoos. I'm telling you, I have to get that. But I do feel like we covered a lot of material in a little bit of time. I do want to thank each and every one of you for being on this call with me today again, because you didn't have to be here, but you chose to be. And I am so happy that you were here with me. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Again, you can reach out to me on Instagram, the_girl_with_purple hair. Follow along with me. I'm always putting out really good content. Every Tuesday, I do a little Become a Better Colorist in 30 to 60 seconds. And so you can follow along with me for tips and tricks. And of course, follow along with Pravana. Look out for all of our other free education we have coming up and stay in touch. And then until next time, I'll see you all then. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you everyone else for being here as well. We look forward to seeing you at our next class.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.